Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is episode 321. Carriage House, back in the Carriage House. Love it. I miss it. And look who's here. It's Phil.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Matt's off fighting pirates and doing other nautical things. I'm not sure why he felt the need to take over my domain. I mean, I fight aliens most of the time, but the maritime life is the life I live. And now Matt's doing maritime stuff. So,
really?
Enjoy, Matt. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
His birthday's coming up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day-ish birthday. Really?
On it.
So
wasn't going to say it, but it's on it. So, happy birthday and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
So, yeah, tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. I'm doing this a day early. Because it's a Monday as well. Some people have to work. Some people have to drink. You got any favorite St. Patrick's Day memories?
My favorite St. Patrick's Day, I was in England going to college there for a year, and we with some buddies of mine, and we decided to go to take some days off and head over to Dublin for St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
So we did.
Incredible.
We went to Dublin.
Amazing.
We spent St. Patrick's Day in Dublin with the Irish, and it was pretty cool.
They
raw. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but it's a little different than here.
What do they do?
So,
what's different about it?
Is it
more religious?
No. It's just I don't know. It's hard to describe. They definitely go to the pubs.
They party.
So they party, which is the same. That's not different from what we do, but they don't do like green beer and stuff like that. So, but it was.
Well,
a lot
I think
of fun.
that do they care about leprechauns in Ireland? Is that an American thing?
No, it's an Irish thing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were forcing that on them.
No, it is definitely an Irish thing, but
Okay.
it's not. They don't really. It's not like one of their bigger deals for St. Patrick's Day. So,
Okay.
but it was cool because we got there really early in the morning. We took a ferry across from Liverpool, and got there really early in the morning. We had a chance to explore the city and see some of the cool sites. It's a very historic city. We got to see the statue of James Joyce right down the middle of the main street, and go visit some really cool historic places. A lot of cool castles, and right in and around Dublin too.
Cool castles, yeah.
So
I want to see some castles.
Oh yeah, it was pretty neat.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it. Let's do it. You ready? This is Urban Artifact. I've been waiting for this beer for a while. Bourbon barrel aged.
Really?
Take a guess at what type of beer it would be. Bourbon barrel aged by Urban Artifact.
Well, it's probably going to be a sour of some sort.
You're right there. It's called Kilobyte Golden Raspberry Rare Midwest Fruit Tart.
A tart that's bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah, they like to bourbon barrel age some stuff. They must have just had some extras laying around.
I guess so.
Barrel aged. We aged your favorite fruit tart for several months in oak bourbon barrels. Mellowing, and I'll be the judge of this, mellowing and blending it with an earthy wonder to create a juicy, delightful treat. So let's try this. This is a shareable. This is sold as a one beer, so I only bought one of them. So we're going to share it. 3, 2, 1. All right. I just did a virtual one, first. And it was perfect.
Nice. It was a perfect track.
The perfect crack. That's what my wife says every time every time she sees the full moon.
I'm sure she does, John. I'm sure she does.
It's a perfect crack. Yep.
Words to live by.
All right, let me put this down somewhere it's not going to make a noise.
It looks nice. It looks beautiful.
I mean, it's very pungent. I can smell it from here.
Yeah,
from
me
this
too.
distance, I can smell it. It's very... Here, you have this too, in case you need it.
Oh, perfect.
For sound.
Thank you.
This is going to be quite a beer. So, bourbon barrel aged. Wow, I'm actually scared to drink this based on the nose. It's quite strong smell. I'm surprised this isn't in a bottle. Seems like a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would think.
Big bottle.
All right,
ready? Here we go. Bottoms up. Wow. That's interesting. A lot going on there.
Wow. It is.
There's a million flavors in this beer.
There is.
It's almost like KFC.
And you wouldn't exactly...
secret ingredients or whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't exactly think to throw these different flavors together in this way. So.
Yeah, it's got kind of a dark, like a fruity darkness to it. If that makes sense.
Mm.
You were going to say something. I interrupted you.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how the bourbon barrel aged flavors that get extracted into this, how that impacts the flavor. There's definitely some. It's not a regular fruit tart, clearly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's very different. Mm.
I feel like there's splinters in this beer. I'm drinking the wood.
It's getting very real.
Yeah.
It makes the fruit taste a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely smell the raspberries and you can taste the raspberries, but the fruit itself is, I don't know. I think the bourbon barrel aged thing accentuates the sourness of the raspberries.
That's interesting.
I
think that's true.
In a overripe way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can definitely taste the raspberries. It's there, and as Matt said, that he thinks that's an S tier beer ingredient, adjunct. S tier being the highest. Not sure where that came from. I don't even really know what S tier means, to be honest.
I don't either.
I watch YouTube videos where they rank stuff. I know that S, then A, B, C, D. But I don't know what the S means. Super?
Don't know.
Superb? Succulent?
No idea.
September?
Spectacular.
Spectacular, yeah, that's it.
Why go from S to A, B, C, D?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's the first time I've heard of this. So I will have to...
I'm sorry.
I'll have to investigate.
Yeah, investigate. You can watch Anthony Fantano. He rates music, and he has a similar tiering system. Not sure if he came up with it, but if not, he's close to the origin. But yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
It's definitely pulling me in two different directions. It's definitely pulling me into the fruit tart, fruit sour kind of direction, and this whole different side of it with the bourbon barrel aged taste that gets injected into it is something completely different. In the end, like after I swallow it and there's a long finish on it, it's pretty typical sour, I would say.
Yeah.
More than the bourbon barrel aged. Kind of flavors.
Yeah. It's got more traditional sour.
Yeah, I would say so.
On the end, yeah.
But when you're drinking it, it's a mishmash of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a mishmash. I want to like it. I feel like the people this is made for the Great American Beer Festival. This is made for the beer snobs, because I think they'll convince themselves that they like it too.
I think that's exactly right, John.
They made this for not us. Maybe you. You're not a beer snob. You just know a lot about beer. I think this is made for people who like to tell other people that they don't get it. Maybe I don't get it, but I do get it. I think that it's the result of the bourbon barrel aging. I think that the base beer was really, really good. That raspberry tart was probably phenomenal, and you should have stopped there.
That's what I'm thinking.
The barrel aged part, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm tasting splinters. Like I actually do feel like maybe some of the wood flavor came out. I don't know what type of bourbon they were using. It says oak barrels. Doesn't say Woodford Reserve or whatever. A lot of these beers will tell you who they used. Maybe maybe the barrels weren't good. Maybe they were.
I just think it's a bad combination. I don't think it's a good, that smoky, high octane alcohol kind of boost that bourbon gives to regular beer, which is nice. It's kind of nice, but with fruit though, personally, I just don't think it goes well, and it makes the fruit taste, instead of a sour, which I've learned to love, and I do, and I love raspberry sour, but this makes the raspberry in the sour taste overripe. In other words, to the point of spoilage. So when you open your fridge, taste
spoiled.
Yeah. So when you open your fridge and you smell spoiled, fruit like rotten strawberries or raspberries, that's what it tastes like. It's not pleasing.
So when you age a tart sour, with what knowledge you have of this type of brewing, is anything else? Is any fermentation still happening at that point, or is it all done?
Most of it's done by the time it goes into the bottle. It depends.
The barrel.
Oh no, there's definitely secondary and tertiary going on in the barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So they would basically.
So there's more stuff happening than just the flavors coming out of the wood.
Yeah, they wouldn't put it in there. Well, I don't know. Maybe they would. So there's primary fermentation, there's secondary fermentation typically, right? You can do tertiary fermentation. Sometimes that's done in the bottle. Sometimes it's done, somewhere else. I'm guessing that's what happens. It's because if you did the secondary fermentation, out of the primary fermentation, you get a ton of sludge in the bottom. It's all dead yeast cells, but it's a ton of sludgy stuff that's kind of gross, and it'd be pretty tough to clean that out of a barrel.
Oh yeah.
But even for secondary fermentation, you're going to get a lot of things filtering down and out because it's another week or two, that it's continuing to ferment out, and there's all kinds of yeast cells that may not have died in the first round that are still working, and so you're going to get some of that in the secondary. So I'm thinking they probably wait until after the secondary is done and then put it in the bourbon barrels just for aging.
Yeah, just for aging.
So there's going to be some fermentation activity going on no matter what. There isn't a bottle even, but unless you pasteurize the beer and then it kills everything. But so don't drink pasteurized beer.
Yeah, there was a tip was given to us that the Goose Island Bourbon County beers are pasteurized.
Really?
So there's no point in saving them.
No.
But I don't know. I think that was true for a number of years. But I think they may have stopped in 23, but I don't know. I don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
So it was like 17 to 23 that was true. So it's like, why the hell did we keister all these beers? What a waste.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It stops the process right in its tracks because it kills everything in it. Right, so it's like microwaving something. You're basically killing everything,
zapping it,
and it's killing everything. Right, so it's not going to get better in time. It's not going to get worse in time. It may keep the beer lasting longer because there's no bacteria or anything like that that's prepped into the beer. So that might have some usefulness. But other than that, from a flavor standpoint, it doesn't do anything. So.
Fair enough.
But anyway, so I'm not really hugely fond of this. I just think it's kind of tasting like raspberries that have turned and that you'd throw out instead of trying to, like if there's overripe raspberries in my fridge, we'll do something with it because they're still good. I'll put them in a smoothie. I'll put them in a smoothie, or we'll put them on top of ice cream or something like that because they're sweet. They taste great, and you still get a lot of that great berry flavor, sometimes more because it's sweeter, it has a little bit more sugar. But this is like, I don't know. I think I think it's the bourbon barrels that have actually turned it.
There is one flavor here that it's like a syrupy flavor. Like those like fancy restaurants will like garnish a plate with like a fruit syrup.
Yeah.
Kind of has that taste to it, like a raspberry garnish fruit syrup thing. Candy-like raspberry. Almost, like a hard candy maybe, but it's not. This beer is overall not really pleasant to drink. I don't even like bringing it up to my mouth because smelling it, it's too strong.
You can smell the
Like I don't like the smell.
you can smell the overripe
Yeah,
raspberries.
and it's the smell is like the exact flavor we don't like.
yeah.
So it's like smell and flavor. It just hits you. Yeah, I mean overall, I just don't really like it.
No,
I wish I did because I really wanted to like this beer.
We like Urban Artifact.
Oh, yeah.
And their sours and tarts are amazing. That's what they're known for, and they're really great.
And I was just down there having lunch with somebody the other day. I didn't go to Urban Artifact.
Oh.
I went somewhere else. But I was in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, so a little disappointing from Urban Artifact. I'm sure this does appeal to somebody. I laughed because
Matt, I don't know
what
if
you
Matt
said.
would like it.
What you said just totally resonated with me. I thought that's exactly right. Someone's going to convince themselves that this is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say I like it because I think I'm supposed to like it. And
right, yeah. I see like the results from the Great American Beer Fest every year. You know, this is where they hand out like the gold medals and stuff. And I look at the list and I'm like, they categorize it so it's obviously like some random beer styles not winning for no reason. It's because it was in that style. But like I feel like if I went there, that some of those categories would be filled with people who are jerks. Yeah, you know. Like Matt and I like sours for certain reasons, and I feel like all of those reasons wouldn't be good enough for whoever's rating the sours. There's just I think pretentiousness about it, you know. But that's craft beer. Anyway, you got a score for this beer?
Wow.
We could do the can art if you want to think about it. I'm not even gonna get up.
Stall for time.
It's called Kilobyte, and there's a bunch of digital technology. There's a floppy disk. There's an old school computer, maybe like a Mac. Old school.
Oh, that's
Mac
original Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a keyboard. There's what looks to be a tape Walkman, a joystick, a CD-ROM, actual input CD-ROM with like a USB port.
Wow,
that's old school. And that's it.
So does it say on there why they decided to call it Kilobyte?
No.
Because I don't know what that has to do with a fruit tart that's been aged in bourbon barrels.
Me neither.
But I'm curious.
I don't know.
Bless you.
It's a good question.
Yeah. Because it kills the bite.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. All right, I'll give it a score. I'm going to give it a score, and I think I might be being very generous with the score because I like Urban Artifact. I'm going to give it a 2.0. And I consider that generous.
I think that's a fair score.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think I was sitting right around in that zone. I don't mean to yawn, but I'm trying not to cough as well.
You know, the finish on it.
I don't really like this beer.
The
finish is good.
The finish is great. It tastes like a raspberry tart.
And for that reason, I'm at a 2.0 as well.
Yeah, that's the only
I was teetering between 1.75 and 2. Yeah. But I got it now. It's a 2. So this beer's overall 2. It's kind of, not good.
Kind of not
basically not good. So we're going to go ahead and just move that one off to the side.
Yeah,
I'm not going to finish it.
It's on the list of, okay, glad I tried it. Don't need to do that again.
No, I did. I asked SFIL to bring beer. I wasn't sure if you were going to bring any of the Hoppin' Frog.
I was thinking about it, but one of them we've already tried because it was before one of my incredible Christmas gifts, which was basically beer of the month. I think it's quarterly though. But
it's every 2 months.
I
was going to bring it up.
Yeah,
it's a Hoppin' Frog subscription every 2 months.
Oh, it's
get
great.
12 beers, and it's a pretty good deal. And I was going to ask, if you want to talk about it, review it, or
I do.
Give your thoughts.
It's phenomenal. I got the first subscription, I guess, or whatever. I got the first box last month in February, and there was all kinds of different beers in there. All kinds of different beers, none of which I'd tried before. Some of which they're famous for, some of which were unknown to me before that, and I never heard of them, and I didn't know that they made them. But so far, I think to a beer, every single one of them that I've tried has been a home run. They're
Wow.
phenomenal.
That's great.
They have really short little canned beers that are super high octane, double, triple IPAs, double, triple stouts, borderline, and some of them over the borderline of, what would be considered, I guess.
Street legal.
Well, what do they call them when they get that high?
Imperial?
No, well, Imperials too, but they're barley wines.
Barley wines. Oh, okay.
They're like 14-15%.
Yeah.
And but even though they're 14-15%, they're balanced and they're really good. But they come in these little short cans. And I had one about, I don't know, what, a week and a half
They're
ago.
all in short cans? Every
No,
beer?
just these really high octane
I was going to say, man,
ones.
that's not worth the price then. I thought it was a good price.
No.
Some of them are in bigger ones.
They got pints, they got 12 ounces, and they got these short ones. And the short ones are all these really high octane ones. And I had one that I never even thought existed before. There was an Irish red ale.
Oh yeah.
That was triple. That was a triple. It's called Shenanigans, Hop and Frog Shenanigans. Everyone's got to try it. It's phenomenal. It's a red ale, and it looks like a red ale. It's not dark or anything. It's just a nice, beautiful looking red ale, and like an Irish, but it is like 14.5%. Called Shenanigans.
Damn.
And it was it was really, really good.
Not boozy?
They've got no. It was surprisingly. All of them have been really. Well, I mean, you could taste the alcohol at 14%.
Yeah.
It's like drinking wine. You can't say you can't drink the alcohol or taste the alcohol. But it was really well balanced. I just think a lot. I love Hop and Frog anyway, but I just think very highly of them. And I've had a number of stouts. I've had some other. There was one that I didn't like. There was the was it coconut something or other? I think I told you about the coconut pineapple or something.
Oh, okay.
That I just wasn't really fond of. I think I told you about that one.
You don't have to be.
No, but all the other ones have been great. So if you guys are thinking about getting into a mail order beer club type of deal where they just deliver it to you, Hop and Frog's a good one. I'm looking forward to what they're going to deliver next month. Because, like John said, they can't possibly have a different, 12 different beers.
12 new beers.
12 new beers and
there's
different
be
beers every single time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, there's not a lot of doubles.
Yeah, I'll come back on the podcast and tell everyone what it's like in a couple of months after I get this second or third installment.
All right. Cool.
But yeah, that was a great gift. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying it. It's been great.
All right, let's do another beer.
All right. This beer is something I picked up because I saw it on the shelf when I was just going to pick up some other beer, and it sounded interesting. Never heard of it, never tasted it. I had two of them, so I decided that my beer for tonight was going to be this one for us to try. It's an ale. It's called Kentucky Old Fashioned Bourbon Barrel Ale. Contains 10% alcohol, aged in bourbon barrels. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it sounds
familiar. Drinking a lot of bourbon barrel aged stuff lately. Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it says 10%. So, kind of in the triple zone, double triple zone. Other than that, we know very little about this beer. In fact, I don't know. The Beer of Bourbon Country. And what's the name of it's the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. So I don't think I've ever had a beer from them. But I saw it, I thought, it's in a bottle. Yeah. It's bourbon barrel aged.
So they make a bunch, there's a whole series of these Kentucky, bourbon barrel ales.
Yeah.
There's some things along there.
Just do that.
And we'll open this up. You can count us down since it's your beer.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, fail.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was a fail.
Oh, that's an even bigger fail right there. All right, now that that's cleaned up, we got it.
Cheers.
A little spillage. So there's a whole series of these Kentucky Bourbon Barrel ales. They have like an orange cream. They got a peach one, I think. This is old fashioned, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's good. Should be good. I don't know anything about Lexington Brewing either. Let's look that up. I'll look that up while you talk.
It's good. I'm not even sure what kind of an ale it is underneath there. Can you grab me a glass?
Yeah.
I'm just going to see. I don't know if we'll be able to.
All right.
Oh, wow, look at that. Well,
Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company out of
now that's a lot darker than.
Lexington, Kentucky.
That's kind of an amber ale. That's kind of an amber or red ale.
It is a little bit ambery.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, it's darker than I expected.
Having to be over 21 to visit a website, I know we go over this a lot, but it is an absolutely stupid thing to like even ask people. And they know it is, obviously, because they just make it like you'd say, yeah, I'm over 21, and you can just get through. But like even having that be a rule, if that's a law, then we do have there's just too much there's just too much, regulation from government. Just sit down for a second. Anyway, so they are they're a brewery and a distillery. I don't know much about them. Let's see. They got a lot of stuff going on. They got a bourbon barrel, vanilla cream, maple milk stout. Got a lot going on.
Maple milk stout. That is it. Bourbon barrel
Bourbon
aged.
barrel, yeah, it's the same series as this.
Yeah. So that sounds like that Nowhere in Particular beer that I had called Morning Fun. I think it was. It was bourbon barrel aged with maple and
tangerine cream.
Something else.
They got a
tangerine
tart
cream.
cherry wheat. These are all bourbon barrel aged. Pumpkin, cocoa porter, and Irish red ale. Then they got the maple barrel stout, and they got the Kolsch style ale and a low hop. Well, they make a Hawaiian here. I didn't know that. Hawaiian IPA. Hawaii BA.
Oh, this says. Check this out.
All right.
All brewed, ale brewed with cherries, orange peel, and natural flavors.
Makes sense. That'd be old fashioned.
Man,
cherries and
that's
orange
pretty
peel.
subtle.
I don't actually.
That's like really tiny.
My old fashions with the orange peel. For those bartenders out there, I want the flesh muddled. Okay, don't fucking give me just the orange peel. That's bullshit. I like old fashions. It's one of my favorite drinks to order. And when I ordered it at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, I went to the Oakwood Club, and I asked the waitress one day. I said, I come here a lot and I get these, and the bartender's great at making them, but I would like the orange to be muddled more. Just because I don't want to eat it, I want it in my drink. And I said, what do I say? Is there like a word, on the rocks or whatever? Is there a word for that? She's like, just say extra muddled. I said, okay. So I have always ordered old fashions with the orange extra muddled.
And is it always...
Since then.
Has it come back
always,
well?
Always pulverized. Great. Love it. It's amazing. It really adds more flavor to the old fashioned. Went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. I said, I'll take an old fashioned with the orange extra muddled. He looked at me like I was insane. Like I was the dumbest person that's ever ordered a drink there. I get my drink back, and he didn't say anything. He just said, okay. And I've told the story on the podcast before, so stick with me if you've heard it. So I got the drink back, and it's just an orange rind. There's no orange. That's how they make them, though. So someone must have sat there and muddled this orange rind. Because he didn't say no. There was no flesh. I was pissed. Don't put that shit in there. I know that's probably how old fashions are. Someone's going to come in the comments and be like, that's how old fashions are supposed to be. Well, I don't want that old fashioned. I want the orange in there. Okay? I want the flesh.
What the flesh?
What the flesh?
Um,
Old fashions are wonderful.
I've
love
never
them.
really gotten into them.
I love
I'm
them.
trying to remember who.
You know where they're very good? At Mexico.
Really?
At the resort we stayed at in Cancun, man, they made some good ass old fashions.
Really?
They'd always hook you up with extra cherries.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Drinks are always great at all inclusives.
I think my mom liked old fashions, and she was not a drinker per se, but she and my grandpa used to drink old fashions together.
Oh man, I love them.
And
Some
some other drink too. That's sort of
Mai Tai.
an old fashioned. No, it wasn't a Mai Tai.
A Manhattan?
Manhattan.
My grandpa loved Manhattan. That was his drink.
Manhattans.
Yeah.
My grandpa and my mom used to drink old fashions and Manhattans together.
Wow.
And I always thought that's just so out of place for my mom. You know.
Yeah, Manhattans are good. I don't really know if I like all the ingredients in the Manhattan, so I like the old fashioned. Yeah, great drink. Anyway, what do you think about this old fashioned?
I think this is much better.
Much better than a real one?
No.
Oh.
Not much better than a real one. Much better than the
previous beer.
The previous beer that we just drank. Yeah. This one, I like this one. I will say this. To me, the cherries and the orange peel are very subtle. Subtle to the point of I really have to concentrate and focus to even taste anything there. I don't taste cherries for sure. Maybe a little bit of orange.
Yeah, I don't taste the cherries. I do taste the orange peel. The zest.
The
zest for life.
Zest is a lot different.
I always say that.
Zest is a lot different than
when you die, they're going to say you had a zest for life.
Zest for life?
Not just you, everyone. That's what everyone get. How everyone's described when they die. Zest for life. How do you know? Maybe that person didn't have a zest for life. Maybe they were more zesty about death.
What? Oh, God. But zest means a lot of things to a lot of people. Whatever energizes you, whatever you're passionate about, whatever whatever you chase. Right?
Kids these days, though, use zesty as an insult.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like when you're.
What does it mean to them?
Like, I think it's like like someone who's like overly posing, like a poser who's too poser, like too much poser. Like, that guy, he's zesty. He's just trying too hard, kind of thing. Yeah, I would liken it to like, someone who pops their collar. They'd be zesty. They're just trying to be too country club, They're just zesty. Or I don't know where they use it. Just dorks probably.
Dorks
who try too hard. I don't know. Kids, they use these words. They don't keep their meaning for very long. But yeah, I've heard Joshua say zesty a lot. He'll call people zesty. Yeah, as an insult. He doesn't insult people very often, but when he does, it's some like a soft insult, like zesty.
Zesty, yeah.
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah. At least he's got a little.
He's got a zest for life.
He's got a little sensitivity. He's got a zest for sensitivity. Oh.
Yeah, he's got a social awareness that's better than many kids his age.
That's true. That is true about you.
He doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so he'll call you zesty.
That is true.
So if he calls you zesty, that's about the worst thing he'll call you. So remember that.
I had no idea that's what it meant. I've not been called that.
Yeah, you haven't been called.
At least to my knowledge.
No, not that I remember. Who would be zesty? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, like it's probably used in baseball a lot. Kids who pimp their home runs when they hit like a pop out to deep center, and they bat flip it. That's zesty. Shouldn't have bat flipped that pop out. You thought it was a home run, but the wind kept it in, so now you look foolish. I don't know. Or people who wear pit vipers. Pit vipers? Sunglasses.
Oh, what's that?
They're sunglasses that were really, really cool 2 years ago.
Ah.
So if you wear them now, you're zesty. Oakleys are back. Oakleys left for a while, but they're back now. Now the kids want Oakleys, which is ridiculous because they're so expensive.
Man,
it used to be you could join baseball, and you'd have to get batting gloves, a mitt, and I think that's about it because the team would have a bag of bats, and if you were like a rich kid or really good, you might have your own bat. You'd all get uniforms. You get those shitty pants with the elastic. You don't need belts or anything.
Yep.
And you needed cleats too. You need to buy your own cleats. So you'd get socks, pants, and shirt, and a hat. You just had to have a mitt, batting gloves, and cleats. So you'd probably get away with maybe spending $80 to $100. I don't know what it was in the 90s. For batting gloves, probably $20. And cleats and all that stuff. So maybe you get 50 or less in the 90s. But now the batting gloves alone are like $100. So in
batting
some cases,
gloves?
just if you get the Bruce Bolts, which we don't get. I'm anti-Bruce Bolt. In our house,
I have no idea who the hell that is.
They're just a brand of batting gloves. They're ridiculously priced.
Oh my god!
They're like, this leather from like Madagascar or some dumb shit. They come with like a little bag that you can do like the care of the leather in, so they don't get all nasty. Like you've seen my kids' Franklin gloves; they get real crusty and gross.
Yeah. From
sweat and stuff, but the Bruce Bolts are supposed to not do that, but they still do that.
Good God.
Anyway, so that's just the bag. The bats are $500. The cleats are $100, $150.
The gloves are expensive.
The belts are expensive. Everything's fucking expensive.
Belts.
You can't get shit for anything. There's always some company trying to be like the one. And then now they want sunglasses and they want all this swag and they gotta have a chain with their number on it. It's ridiculous.
The bats and the gloves are crazy.
Dude, it's nuts.
They're unbelievable.
It's nuts. Top tier glove, $300.
Oh, easy.
Top tier bat, $500.
Oh yeah. Wow.
But thanks to the Bat Bros, we found that that not all $500 bats are great. So we don't spend $500 on bats.
Yeah, it's good to know so you don't spend $500 on a crappy bat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't spend $500 on bat.
It's the same with golf equipment. Now, you could buy a driver now, the latest and greatest drivers with all the high tech in them, the ones that came out this year. The ones that came out last year and the year before, they were also ridiculous. They go up by $100 every year.
Every year?
Every year. So now they're up to a driver, one club. $600. The top of the line TaylorMades and Titleists are $600. And
there's some poor guy
you could buy a whole set of clubs for less than that, right?
There's some guy, some poor, not poor, but some guy who can't afford it, whose handicap is like 10, who's like, I got the best clubs.
Oh, I know.
They got to buy the best. Why? Stop.
It's crazy.
But you know what it is? It's the millionaires. Sometimes I think about I go to a restaurant and I'm like, who is this for? This isn't even good. I'll take Katie to a fancy restaurant. Like, if I want a good restaurant, we could be in Dayton. We got all kinds of great restaurants that are, $50 a plate.
We do.
But there's where you go to Cincinnati or Columbus, you can go to these restaurants. They're like $200 a person. I don't personally, but then I sit down. I'm like, who's this for? They give you you order one. Katie and I one time went to somewhere that got the stuffed mushroom as the appetizer. I didn't want it, but she wanted it. It's literally one mushroom cap stuffed, and it's sliced. One on a plate like this big, and it's in the middle because it's fancy. But then I think, I know who this is for the millionaires. Like who's a Bugatti for? Who's that for? Right, $3 million car. Who's that really for? Well,
it's crazy.
If you're a billionaire, $3 million is like nothing. That's who that's for. It's like, I'll just throw $3 million at this. So I get it, but it's not the person who's struggling to pay that monthly payment. That's not who it's for.
No, it's somebody who has cash.
It's somebody who doesn't make monthly payments on things, and that's who that food's for. They go in there and they're like, this was all right. They want to be treated like a rich person. Rich people want to be treated like rich people, and so do poor people. So everyone wants to be treated like a rich person. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that.
But for some,
baseball.
I think for some, there's not some people, a lot of people I think believe that there's an inherent quality level that's equatable to a price. So the higher the
Oh
price,
yeah, of course.
it
And
must
there
be
should
higher quality.
And there should be.
There should be,
But like I
but
think some of these places, like that place that I took Katie where they cut the mushroom up, that's just like everyday lunch for some people. For like millionaires and billionaires. They're just like, yeah, that's why I just eat lunch there. Like, that sucks because that place wasn't good.
well, but it's like what you said about the Bat Brothers earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody that's actually really doing the research and finding out, you know what, these two bats here, they're not
Yeah.
worth $500.
Right.
They're crap.
Yeah, they're garbage.
And so that's what you need to know, because there's a lot of people out there trying to schlep stuff.
Yeah, we need an honest restaurant review.
Yeah.
Where someone's
Everything.
telling us if it's worth that money.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, we need it for everything.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right. Old-fashioned bourbon barrel
Old-fashioned.
ale.
What do you think? Well, I guess you brought the beer, so I'll give my thoughts.
You go first.
I think that the rind is prevalent. There's a sweetness about this beer that's almost overbearing. Unexpectedly, I thought it was going to be much like a richer but less sugary flavor. It's actually quite sugary. I can't taste the cherry, and the booze is really sticking out. It seems it's like almost like a real old fashioned.
It's strange because it's only 10%, so you'd think it would actually be.
Yeah, it's just real
Yes.
on the nose. I mean, the booze is almost like rubbing alcohol. The thing about like an old fashioned that I find that's good, especially when I get it the way I like it, is that you're tasting the whiskey or the bourbon, and then you're finding the other flavors. Whereas in this one, I think I taste the rind, and I'm actually trying to find other flavors in that. The booze, though, is just like, it's really just not as great as whiskey booze. This is like, just unappealing. But I think the flavors are there. I just wish it was more. I don't know what I wish it was more of. Do you feel like the sugar is just too much?
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet.
And I'm wondering where that sweetness kind
But
of
it's
came
not even
from.
a good. It's not. Yeah, it's not like a sugar that's like.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a pleasant sugar.
It's not a
sweet.
fermentable sugar.
Yeah.
Which when you get the fermentable sugars, they're converted to alcohol, and there's obviously some of that going on too. But the unfermentable sugars that come out as sweetness, they're typically not like this. It's almost like it was an adjunct that they added.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit over the top, I would say.
Yeah. Now they'll put a sugar cube in the old fashioned. This might just have too much of it.
Maybe that's what they.
Maybe they put a bunch of sugar in it. I don't know. I think this beer. I don't know. I really thought that this was going to be better. I'm going to have to go with 2.75. It's drinkable.
Wow.
It's drinkable. It's over a 2.5. But it's
Yeah.
just not great, I don't think. But no offense. I know you brought it. You only had two.
No, not offending me.
You only had
It's the
two.
first time I've ever-
Now he's mad.
Not offending me in the least. I've never tried it before. I would say it's also, to me, kind of underperforming a little bit.
Mhm.
I didn't taste a lot of what they said was in there. I did taste some orange peel. There is kind of a prevalent sweetness to it that lasts
Yeah,
on
it's
the
bitter.
finish,
It's
which
kind
I
of
don't
nasty,
like on a
actually.
beer.
Yeah.
I'm not really fond of that on a beer. I like my finishes to be a lot more dry. But not go away, but not have the lingering sugar on there. And sometimes you get that, like with some of the hopping frogs that I've got that are 14, 15%. You've got some stickiness.
Oh yeah.
But that's because
that's
that's because it's a stout.
It's all there.
and it's there's a lot in there.
Stouting it up.
But this is not like that. So it tastes a little off balance to me, and even though it's 10%, I think it's okay. It's drinkable, but I would agree it's not one of those things that I would put on the top of my list. And if this were on the advent calendar list, it would definitely not make the top 20.
No,
probably.
yeah, not top 20. Well, maybe the top 20.
Maybe the top 20.
Maybe the top 19 now.
No, not the top 15 for sure. So, yeah, I can't totally pan it. It's not like it's not like off. It's not like
they give you flavors that they say they will.
Yeah, but and just bring it into a little bit more balance, I guess. That's what
balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
mean, there's
what are you doing? Balance it out.
There's not much nose to it. Even you get some.
You're right. Yeah.
But you don't really get
sugar.
You don't get any
bacon.
You don't even get those citrus flavors or cherry or anything like that. So I'm gonna say I was surprised when you said 275. I thought you were gonna go lower than that. I was gonna say 2.5.
All right. That's a good score. That's a good score for this. It's like right in the middle.
Yeah, it's not
great.
Not great.
2 not great beers today. I can't believe it. I thought we were gonna get 2 great beers today.
I should have brought one of my Hoppin' Frogs after all, I guess.
It's all good. Next time. Do some Hoppin' Frogs. Got plenty more. All year. All right. Well, what else? Anything else going on in the SFIL world?
SFIL. No.
All right.
Not
well, we'll wrap it up then. I know we got some work to do, so.
Yep.
Might as well. That's
all right.
it. That's episode 321. Back in the Carriage House. Next week, probably back in the church room. We've been trying to work on some other stuff, some remotes, if you will, on locations. We'll see if that gets worked out, and we'll see who travels next. Because between Matt and I, we're just like bouncing all around the country and the world. We're like world travelers now.
Yeah.
All for beer. These are beer trips. These are all beer trips. They're not vacations.
Where's Matt going on his naval adventures?
Yeah. He's going to be fighting some of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to. It'd be funny if he was on the same cruise as my boss.
That would be.
It could be the case.
Oh my gosh!
And if it were, boy, would that be great. But he's in a different state of mind. He's not buttoned up, Matt. For this, he's gonna be jolly old Matt.
Let Matt's hair down.
Yeah. He's gonna let his hair down.
Crazy.
He's gonna be wearing, offensive T-shirts. He's gonna be yelling a lot. I think. I don't know.
Yelling a lot. Okay.
He's gonna be having a gay old time, as they say.
Oh.
He's gonna not in like not in a weird way.
Not you can't even say that word anymore.
Not in an uncharacteristic Matt way. He's gonna have.
Right.
I mean, he's gonna have a great time, a fun time, happy time.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. What was that from? The Jetsons?
Yeah. No, Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
We'll have a gay old time.
You just got. That was free.
That was free.
You don't have to pay royalties on that.
And you didn't even
have to sang it.
You didn't even have to hear about fermentation or yeast.
Yeah. So that was some good singing, Scott. I liked it actually. But yeah, Matt's gonna be. I think that Vacation Matt and Vacation our boss are different. They're just not compatible.
I would say that's probably true.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely true.
Pretty true.
I don't know what the vacation version of the boss is.
I don't either.
Probably, great, probably awesome, and just like, normal, but not like Matt. I know that.
Nope.
Professional Matt's pretty cool though. Interesting guy. I'd do business with business Matt.
I like Podcast Matt.
Podcast Matt's great. Podcast Matt's the one I know best.
Me too.
I've never been on vacation with him.
No.
But I'd do it. I don't know. I think we're just so different, Matt and I. Like, he's very scheduled, regimented. He knows already a lot of the things he's going to do. When we went, oh man, I think it pissed off my mom a little bit that I was just like, let's just go with the flow.
Oh, really?
She goes with the flow too, but like I'm almost too go with the flow, where I'm just like, I honestly, this is a true story. the same boss that's on the cruise now, she asked me before I went on mine, what's the name of your ship? And this was like the week I was leaving, and I had no idea. I had no idea until I got to the ship what the
Why
name
would
of it
you?
was. I think that's a thing people know.
I don't.
People know the names of their ships.
Really? Wow.
Because they're excited and they're looking forward to it and they're planning things out. And I was excited and looking forward to it, but planning nothing.
Man, I don't know. I went on one cruise in my whole life, and it was because we won something. I don't even remember what the hell it was, but we won like this 3-day cruise from San Diego.
That's not enough time.
No, it was San Diego down to Ensenada. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun. It's like kind of a weekend kind of gig. It was a lot of fun, but I don't know what the name of the ship was. I didn't really give a crap. Who
Ours
cares?
was Explorer of the Seas. I know that now.
Oh, okay. Explorer of the Seas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's a smaller ship, I guess. I don't know the sizes. It's like there's people who are like experts on Royal Caribbean. They'll just be like, "Oh, that's the medium ship," and I'm just like, "How the fuck do you know any of this stuff?"
And who cares? To me, it's like,
well, it matters when you actually are on it because there's differences. Like they all have some of the same stuff, but like the pools and stuff are different. Like I would say the pool on the Explorer of the Seas wasn't really for playing in. It's more for like waiting.
Oh, so small.
It was small.
Oh.
But I've seen videos of some Royal Caribbean ships where the pools are like, there's like kids splashing and they got like boogie boards and there's like all kinds of cool stuff.
Wow.
Sport like volleyball or whatever. But this one is like just people sitting around drinking. There was kids on this ship, but I don't think it was a very kids-centric ship. It was more for older kids like mine and adults.
Yeah.
I had fun though, yeah. My mom probably was surprised. I did. I had a decent time. I actually thought the ship was, like I told you before we started, the ship was better than the ports. Belize was cool. And I thought that originally I criticized the dining room.
Really?
I thought, not when we got there, before we went, I said, I don't like that we can't choose other places. Because when my mom goes to Cancun, she'll realize that what I'm talking about, like the idea that you can go to the different places at the all-inclusive, it matters. It makes things fun and exciting. But I did like that the waiter was the same every day. We got to know him. The food was really good, and you can order as much as you want. Some dates I'd get two appetizers, 2 entrees, and 2 desserts.
Oh my God!
Hell yeah!
Did you ever get sick? Do you ever feel like?
I didn't get sick from the food, but I was actually sick on the ship.
Oh jeez,
I had
terrible.
the flu the first 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it sucked. Anyway, but the food was really good, and there was like food you'd look forward to, lasagna and stuff, like good food.
Wow.
So anyway. So there's my summary of that.
I know there's people that I know that are cruiseaholics. They just that's what they do.
No, that's the thing.
That's like
I don't
their
think I could be a
vacation is a
cruiseaholic.
cruise.
My mom and sister love cruises.
Really?
They go on multiple cruises a year. They love them, but they go on cruises that are geared towards their like hobbies. Like my mom went on a crafting cruise.
Did she really?
I don't think the whole cruise was crafting, but there was a contingent of people who were there for crafting.
I could see that,
and I think she had a total blast. That's awesome. Just crafting the whole time.
I think Elena would like
crafting
that.
in the sun. You should send her.
She'd love that.
Yeah, her and my mom, maybe Caterade.
Yeah,
and my sister, they could go on a crafting cruise and
that
just
would be
do
so funny. They would dig it. When they go on their little crafting adventures weekends, they're loving it, man.
Oh, that's all it is. It's just, I think it's therapy, really.
Yeah, I think so too. So good for them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's 321.
I think it would be awesome to take a cruise if I could spend my time shooting trap off of the bow.
Yeah.
And like shooting golf balls off the port.
They have the golf ball thing. They definitely have on some of the cruises. I can't remember which ones it is. But it's possible. So there is a Mississippi River cruise, and I don't know if it's Viking or who does the river cruises, but I think there is one, and you might be able to shoot some things.
The one we went on, you could, but I think they stopped doing that, or they a lot less people, dangerous. a lot less of them do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're shooting off the bow. You're not gonna like kill anything.
Yeah, but most of these cruise lines are in a cruise lane.
Oh,
shooting. You could probably shoot another ship, really.
Well,
even if you can't see them, well, not over the horizon. It's not going to be that far.
We're talking shotguns.
Yeah, I know.
70, 80 yards, maybe.
Over the horizon.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably who knows? Who knows?
But anyway, that'd be my idea of fun. It's different.
That'd be cool. Yeah, they need to have that.
And then playing cards or something.
Hell yeah! Need a guy's cruise.
A dude's cruise.
Dude's cruise. Dude's cruise. I don't know. That sounds like it's gonna attract just different.
Yeah,
crowds.
Maybe some elements that you don't want to hang out with. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. It's all good. That's 321.
321. Wow.
I know, we're killing it.
So what does that date back to? 321.
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And I remember you said something during the Advent calendar. How many beers do you reckon you've reviewed?
Matt knows the number, but it's got to be. It's over 600.
Oh,
1,000 would be awesome. No, I think originally we did one beer, and then I think we started bringing one beer each for a little while, and that was too much. And then we started doing 2 beers per episode. I don't know, around maybe episode 30 or 40. And then we've been doing that ever since. So we're I think we just hit our 600th beer maybe 4 months ago.
Wow.
I have to look. I don't know. Matt's got the spreadsheet.
That's a lot of beers.
A lot of unique beers just for the podcast. And that doesn't count that every time I go out, I try to order a beer I've never had. And if I would have been marketing it in Untapped, which I know I should be doing, I'd be pretty high up there.
Wow.
Matt's got a friend who's got 20,000 beers.
20,000?
I don't know.
20,000
I think
beers.
it's got to be true because he's logging them. Wow. But I also don't know that I can fully buy in. How the fuck did you have 20,000? 20,000 the amount of beer you have to drink daily. To get to that level. You get a flight. You'd have to get a flight 3 times a week, I think, to do that for a long time. 20,000 beers is crazy.
That's an insane number.
I
mean, you would if you drank 1 beer a day, it would take you 3 years to break 1,000.
Yeah.
And so it would take you,
60 years.
Yeah. So you'd have to drink way more than 1 a day. I don't know. That seems a little suspect to me.
I've thought it. I've never said it out loud, and I believe it. Yeah. And he's definitely got more beer knowledge than I do, and awareness and all this other stuff. So he's clearly up there. But the math of it boggles my mind, and I would really like to get him on the show and talk about it. Now I don't want to call him out. I think that I'm of the belief that this is a legit number.
I mean, if he's logged them, then
he's no one who would lie about that. That's a stupid thing. He's logging them because he knew that he hit that number because he hit it in the app. So I just want to know how much weekly beer how many flights per week do you have to buy?
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's got to be a lot.
Gotta be. At least
you guys have been doing
it. At least a flight a week.
You guys have been doing it for 7 years, and you hit 600.
It's gotta be more than a flight.
And you're hell yeah.
Yeah, because usually we just said if it's 1 a day, it's 60 years. So if 2 a day is 30 years, and you just keep going like that, it's
right. 2 a day is 30 years, and 2 a day is a lot of beer.
Yeah, right.
Every
day is a shitload of beer,
day.
And that's 30 years to hit 20,000.
And 30 days. Now 4 would get you to 15, and that's a lot. That's
I haven't verified.
4 beers a day is 28 a week. 28 beers a week.
Even
over a case of beer a week.
Crazy. A case of beer a week.
A case of beer a week for 15 years. That's what we're talking about. Years.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to talk about the math of it. Maybe it's not 20,000. Maybe the number's wrong, and I'm being an idiot.
Yeah.
But anyway,
a couple thousand. Yeah, that's in the realm of believability.
A baker's dozen. 1,000. That's even a lot. 13,000.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a
So-
cord's worth.
If you did 12,000, that would be like, 12,000. If you did 12,000 beers, you'd have to be doing.
You're talking like 4 beers a day, basically.
Still 3 beers a day.
3, yeah.
3 beers a day to get it done in 12 years.
In 12 years.
Roughly. A little less. Yeah. Because you got, what, 720 and 1080. Yeah. Yeah. It's a hell of a lot of beer.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the math. I want to talk about the math
Yep.
of it. Let's do that.
I'm with you.
Next episode.
All right.
That's 321 of the Brew Crew
Cool.
Podcast. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Good to see you all again.